Hollywood journalists have reached some disturbing conclusions about how Marilyn Monroe really died. Those conclusions come to light in a new book called Marilyn, the Last Take. With us now is the co-author, Peter Harry Brown. Mr. Brown, good to have you with us this morning.
Nice to be here.
Let's get to it right away. How did she die? Murder?
She was murdered. But let me explain the context first. In 1990, I was hired by Fox, 20th Century Fox, to research 8 hours of missing film, lost film of Marilyn Monroe. For a special, they wanted me to handle the research. I took the 8 hours home and screened it. And this is from the film Something's Got to Give, made in the spring of 1962.
Now, this film apparently had been, they claimed it didn't exist, it had been lost, that there wasn't much of it?
They claimed that Marilyn only produced 8 minutes of usable film, that all the other time she was too high on drugs and out of control to film. In watching the 8 hours of it, and it's all there, sometimes 23 takes of a single scene without her missing a cue, sometimes running around a pool and dropping down on her knees. I turned to my wife and I said, this means that all previous accounts of the last 6 months of Monroe's life are wrong.
Why, just because they were not apparently honest about how much work she had done?
Well, they're not honest that she had almost finished to film. They were not honest that she was fully in control. And the way they depicted her as a drunken, stumbling wreck is what led to the cover-up of the murder later on. They were able to, by making her seem so fragile and suicidal, and that led to what later was the cover-up.
Who are they?
Marilyn Monroe, when she was making Something's Got to Give, was in love with the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. In May, during that filming, John F. Kennedy asked her to sing Happy Birthday at his birthday party. Right. It was like a swan song for their love affair. But Robert Kennedy told Marilyn he had cleared it with 20th Century Fox for Marilyn to attend this birthday party, which she did, and we all know the clips. It's a very famous clip.
Absolutely.
It was like making love in public to the president. When Marilyn returned to Los Angeles, she found out that Robert Kennedy, the Attorney General, had lied to her, that he hadn't cleared it, and that she was going to be fired for appearing on the gala.
So what does this have to do with her death?
Coincidentally, John F. Kennedy and the Kennedy family sent the Attorney General to the West Coast to try and calm Marilyn down. She was threatening to telephone the president, and she was even threatening to go more public with the affair.
What proof do you have that the Attorney General of the United States actually got involved in this, actually lied to her about that, actually had anything to do with it?
In the 20th Century Fox archives, and it was a hard-fought battle to get them, this scenario played out clearly it's documented in a number of memos and letters. But more than that, I finally managed to reach Milton Gould, the financier who ran Fox at the time. He said Robert Kennedy called him, asked him to make an exception because it was very important to the president that Monroe appear at that gala. Gould said, we can't do it, we're in a public relations bind, Marilyn has been sick, the movie has fallen behind.
So I have to cut to the chase here, because apparently you're saying 20th Century Fox didn't let her go, Robert Kennedy said she could go to her, and she went. I have to ask you the question again, you haven't answered it. Who are they? Who killed Marilyn Monroe?
Marilyn Monroe's murder resulted from an affair with Robert Kennedy that started when he was sent to calm her down.
Did Robert Kennedy kill her?
No.
Did Jack Kennedy kill her?
No.
Did they cause her death to happen?
Yes.
Through whom?
Marilyn, again in early August, threatened to hold a press conference in which she would tell it all. Her affair with the president, which lasted a year.
Right,
her affair with the Attorney General, who lasted 4 or 5 weeks.
I understand that, but still you haven't answered the question. Who physically killed Marilyn Monroe?
She was murdered by overzealous members of the Secret Service and the FBI.
Acting at the direct order of the administration?
No.
Acting what they thought to be the best interest of the administration?
On August 4th, Robert Kennedy flew to Los Angeles to try and calm Marilyn down and stop her attempts at a press conference. He was not successful. Marilyn renewed her threats.
Okay, I have to interrupt you here. I just want to draw it to a close as distinctly as we can. these were rogue elements of America's FBI or CIA, or were they acting at the order of somebody with authority?
They were not acting at the order of someone with authority. Robert Kennedy had communicated the danger, and they went in there and gave her a fatal injection.
Mr. Brown, I have to leave it there. The book obviously can tie up some of the loose ends, but we appreciate you taking the time this morning. We'll take a break right now. Good Morning America. We'll be right back.